Hello, my name is Vexen, and this is ItemEdit. I'm recording a new video to re-show everything and hopefully get a better job explaining everything in ItemEdit. Now, ItemEdit is for 1.19.2, but it should work in older versions, but I don't know. Newer versions, as soon as this guy gets updated and the smithing table gets updated with all the new armor trims in 1.20, there's going to be some issues, but hopefully I'll be there for an update for it. This does require a mod, NBTcrafting. Whatever. It requires NBTcrafting. Links in the thing, in the description for everything, for the download to the data pack and all that. But this is NBTcrafting. First thing I'll show you to do is, what is NBTcrafting for? Well, it's for making custom items. Oh wait, no. This is ItemEdit. Yeah. That's the name of this data pack, ItemEdit. And this is a showcase video for ItemEdit. Now, what is the goal of ItemEdit? To make custom items with it. That's the goal. It does require mod NBT crafting. Now let's move on. First of all, I'll show you the new recipes. These are some of the items you would need for stuff in ItemEdit. Let me grab myself a few name tags here so I can show you each how to craft new name tags. You're definitely going to need a lot of name tags for this. However, not as many as before this update. Slightly less, anyway. I need enchanting book, and I need slime balls. Now, the first new type of name tag is going to be the enchanted name tag, made by simply putting a name tag and an enchanting book in an upgrade table. It does not work for the anvil. Well, it does, but it doesn't make an enchanted name tag, a real one. It makes a fake one. But this is the enchanted name tag. One key thing you're going to need. Second thing you're going to need, the second type of name tag you can make is with an enchanted name tag and a slime ball, which is a locking name tag. I'll show you what each of these types of name tags do in the future here. But let's get to that, shall we? Now, how this works is, first thing you want to do is, let's say I want to rename this sword to be a cool thing. Number one, I want to give it a custom name, but I also want to give it custom lore, or an item description. So let's call it Vexen. You'll see why I'm separating this into multiple name tags later. Sword. Of swag. Now, if you'll notice, I'm making sure to put spaces so that if I combine all of these, it'll be Vexen's Sword of Swag. It's exactly the same. Okay. Now, what you need to do next is you want to do what's called formatting. Now, as you can see, I got a whole bunch of different dyes, and I've already used ItemEdit to edit their names to be the color they are. So, what we're going to need first of all, let's go for a few different colors. Let's make Vexen be purple. Let's make sword be light blue. Let's make be lime. and epic yellow. Let's also add some neat formatting like underline, strike through, confiscated, and bold. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to add the formatting. Now what you first do is, first of all, order matters a lot with the formatting. For example, if I put on the color first, and then I try to make it confiscated, which is that, it's not going to work. And you're going to be like, why? Well, if I put a confiscate on first, then the color, it does work. So leave the color for last whenever you're doing this, and always do the formatting options like underline, bold, and etc. for after. Now we got Vexen done. Yeah, I don't like that. I will make it purple. Oh, and also the edit items goes first. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Let's put this in. Let's put the formatting in. Let's do bold first. Now let's strike for ink sac for bold. Then we do purple. That's Vexen's done. And now we need sword. Oh, by the way, this does work on normal name tags as well. So what we're going to need to do is I will make this blue and underline. So underline light blue. Of is going to be lime, but first it's going to be strike through, and then lime. Swag will be yellow, but also confiscated. Vexen's Sword of Swag. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called appending and prepending. Now if we place an enchanted name tag and a normal name tag together, it combines the two. You could also do it in either order. Do note it does not work with normal name tags. You need to have at least one enchanted name tag and one normal name tag. That is the only way it works. Two enchanted, it's not going to work. Now, you definitely want it to be like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it together with of, take this, put it together with this. And Vexen's Sword of Swag is done. Now, if I wanted to duplicate this name tag, I would simply take name tag. I would simply take unrenamed, reset enchanted name tags, and then I stuck them in here, and then I'll put this in, and I get 9 out. As you can see, it depends on the number in the crafting table. Please note this does not work with normal name tags in the mix, and it also doesn't work with renamed enchanted name tags. Now, we need, actually, let's make a copy of these. As you can see, it's quite easy to make copies if you have enough name tags. Now, how do you apply it, you may ask? Well, you simply drop the item, and then you do this. Vexen's Sword of Swag. Now, if you want to remove the formatting, you simply drop it in water, and then it removes it. This also works for name tags as well, but it doesn't reset them truly. I should probably add that as a feature. Anyway. So, let's also show you how to add lore. Now, if you want to add lore or a description, you simply put it in your offhand and crouch. As you can see, now it's as lore, and it adds a new line every time you do this. And you can have different things on each line as well. As you can see, very powerful, isn't it? Now, if you want to lock a name in, so you get your custom name and you put it in, and you're like, I don't want people to be able to do this. And also, do not put it in an anvil, otherwise it entirely ruins it. That's one thing to note. But, so you're going to have to put on the enchantments and everything first before you have to rename it, or simply deal with reapplying the name. But here comes the locking name tag. This is where the locking name tag is used. You put your special item on a smithing table. By the way, this does not work just anywhere. It doesn't work anywhere. It has to be on top of a smithing table for you to be able to apply name tags to it. And by the way, it also does not work with normal name tags. It needs to be an enchanted name tag to be able to be put onto an item. So normal name tags, it will simply not work on. But you take a locking name tag, you do this, and now it's locked, meaning you can no longer remove it. Except, of course, if you do this. And I wouldn't recommend doing this, since it still keeps the fact that it's locked. It just ruins the name. Now, let's move on to the next thing, which is number 1, comparators, which have special functions. Oh, also, you can use the colors and formats on just normal name tags and use them as on mobs as normal. So, if I do this, put in red dye, then if I spawn a wolf, it works, as you can see. Now, let's move on. So, let's say you want to make your own currency. Now, there's 3 ways to make your own currency that cannot be duplicated. This can also be used for like sorter items. If you want to make an item that people cannot use to ruin your sorting system. If you want to make your sorting system immune to being ruined by throwing in the correct item, then you can simply make an item that no one knows how to make. Except for you, of course, since you have the name tags you use to make it. So, there's 3 ways to do this. The first and most obvious way is to take an enchanted name tag, give it a code like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a really bad code in this case, then I'll confiscate it. And then put it as a description instead of normal thing. Let's also make it red. Why not? I got the red dye. So, you drop this, you put this in your offhand, and the reason why I'm putting in my... So, let's first do it like this. Now, here's the issue with that. If you put in water, you can remove it, but not only that, since we can easily use a locking name tag to remove that, we also have a second issue, that you can remove it by putting in an anvil and just see the code. How do you fix that? Well, it's quite simple, honestly. Making a description. So you take it, and you put in your offhand. The funny things about descriptions is they cannot be removed by renaming. So that's stuck there. Unless you drop in the water, but then you could simply use a locking name tag to fix that. Oh, also, want to make this a little bit more special. So I'll also change the name to coins, though it can be removed. Now we take a locking name tag and we lock it. And now we have an item that's unduplicatable unless you know those 5 numbers, or you cheat and use the actual duplicator. But you can't recreate it unless you know those 5 numbers. Now, the second method to do this is with the comparator. Why a comparator, you may ask? Simple. If you rename this to 345, you can also use letters and apply it to an enchanted name tag. Like, for example, coins, since we're going to be using that here. It gets applied, but you're like, where did it go? You'll notice quite quickly that this no longer stacks with the original coins name tag. That's because that text on the comparator was hidden inside of the name tag. If you use a data command, you can quite easily see that it's the text that you renamed the comparator to is hidden within the name tag now. And so, if you rename the sunflower to coins, like this, then you take a exact same name thing, and you take a sunflower and rename it to coins, but without the same thing, it no longer stacks with each other. Let's also make sure I lock the right one. Nope, this one's not the right one. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and T is stored within the item. So that makes it special and unduplicatable, but even more unduplicatable than this coin. So you simply, let's lock it. And there we go. By the way, that sticks even if you rename it. So, there's that. Now, the final way you can add a custom stuff to it is, well, it's without any name tags at all for this one. Though, just for these sakes, I am going to actually rename it, just so it's the same as the rest. Have you ever heard of custom item models? The things you use to, oh wait, I did that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Anyway, this is locked, but custom custom item models? If you don't know, you can use custom item models in a resource pack to change the texture of an item at will. So, like, you can change this into having a raw pork texture, or like any old custom texture. If you gave it a little bit of data. But normally, this can only be accessed with commands, and you can normally add it with commands. Well, I've made it so that you can do it in survival mode with set custom model data. You simply set this to a number, like 12, and it adds it. However, it's set as a different message if you're holding no item. But if you're holding an item that's locked, it will not work. But if you're holding an unlocked item, like this sunflower, it's also applied a name to it, and then I set it to 12, you can see now it has custom model data of 12, which means it's special as well. And this will not be removed. And then you can simply lock it, so that no one can edit it again. Since I can still easily edit this to have a custom model data 13, for example. So now we simply lock it, and boom. It is done. Now you got 3 different ways to make an item uncopyable. All 3 of these hide some number or text within the item, making it so that it can't be copied. Now, all the colors have different colors, you can apply them with ease. Bone meal resets the text, so if you don't want to use a dye and you want to keep it the same, you use bone meal instead. Bone meal doesn't change text color. It resets everything before it. Ink sac makes it bold. A stick makes it underline. Coal makes it strike through. Feather makes it rotated to the side. And this guy makes it that. And that's it for ItemEdit. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, and by the way, one final thing. You can duplicate normal name tags now as well. So you simply put a rename name tag and a normal name and an unnamed name tag and make that. So as you can see, quite useful. Now, this is all, and have a good day. And I hope you download the pack. See ya. Make sure to like and subscribe.